Talking about texts, I think it's also interesting to understand something about how we read text. And this is, I just give you a few examples, and I have not made this research. It's made by a colleague of mine called Jana Holsanova at the University of Lund. But it's interesting to think about, if we talk about text, so there are two aspects of text. One aspect is how is a producer thinking about text. If you take the upper part of this picture, so there is a center and there is a periphery. And in the center, the producer of the text places the most important part in the center. And there are also some kind of left-right thing here. So what we place at the left side is also the given. And on the right side is the new thing in our culture, because we write from the left to the right. We also have the up and down. Ups are more ideal and down is more basic, real things. But that's not here. So here you have a center and periphery. It's also about distance, close up, what's near, what's far away, what's fronting and what is from the side. So there are lots of things of thinking of how is information placed on the side, on the page, sorry. Next question is then, how do people read this information? Which is a better of the two? If we want to have people to get interested and be interested in staying on the page. And here's an example of how we can track the eye movements of readings. So the upper part, you see, that it's more difficult to orient oneself on this page. And the lower part is more like if you give information like a cartoon, a series of actions, you see that more intense observation by the reader is put on the different parts. So there's more intensity in the reading in the lower part than in the upper part. So this is one question we can ask ourselves when we're going to teach or create teaching and learning situation. It's about how we organize the space, the physical space, the virtual space, and it's about how we organize the text. And that can be done in different ways. Here's an example of nuclear membranes and what happens when it collapses. And here you can see that there are some basic principles engaged. One is nearness, what's near, what's close to each other. And you can do that physically or you can do it by color. So here you can see what's in the text in one color is represented in the drawing with the same color. So it's very easy to quickly move from the text to the pictorial illustration and back to the text and understand where you are. This, I think, leads us to an understanding of the organization of text. It's not only about the verbal text, it's about verbal text, pictorial illustration, and other semiotic resources that can be used. And there's always an interplay between all these resources. Like when I'm talking here, I'm using my hands, I'm used to do that. It would be quite different if I stood like this and tried to talk to you. So I say something with my body, and I say something with my voice. Why am I in the room? How do I move? How do I relate to you? And that is the same question in the text. The text is about something, but it's also about how does the text relate to the reader and engage the reader. And why is a text constructed like this one in relation to all other kinds of text in our society? So I have been talking a lot about communication here, reading, text, and social relations. And now we're going to discuss a bit further on learning as communication.